think I should just get the question out of the way before we even go into the main questions for the day about my love for green and white, Mr. Purpose. I think that I'm not, 2015, Jonathan ran for office in 2015, right? And then 2019. Am I correct? Or it was 2000 and when did Jonathan run? Anyway,
Yeah,
I know he was running
2011.
11 and 15, yes. So
Yes.
I think it was when he was 2014 when we were preparing for his next run. And one of those days I was waiting on the Lord. Now, I usually don't do a lot of spiritual talk. Anybody who knows me well and is close to me, you may not hear me on social media talk God, God, God. But when you come very close, you see that me and God, they sit down front to front. So I was sitting before the Lord, waiting on him for different things about my life or my destiny. And I was making commitments to him about how I would use everything he has blessed me with to serve him. And I slept off whilst praying. And after a while, I heard, and he woke me up. He said, don't be amongst those who you are praying against. And I was like, what does that mean? The understanding I got was, you keep praying against people who want to siphon wealth out of the Commonwealth of Nigeria. Yet, you are doing same. When you're preparing your invoices for government, your invoice is like ×4 of what you would ask for from regular people. And he said, stop that. I said, but it's government that has the money. He said, it's the mindset of people who want to get, not because government has. We're already saying that government is misappropriating. Now you want to be amongst those who will collect. So stop it. He said, so henceforth, whenever you're called to work for government, accept whatever you are given. Don't bargain, don't negotiate. That was tough to swallow. So a few days later, I was invited. I got a call very early, about past 6 in the morning, to come to Port Harcourt and compare an event that had something to do with Jonathan in preparation for his campaign. And the people who were calling me were the money bags. So I said, how much do you have to give me? They said, hey, madam, just be coming first. When you come, we'll sort that out. I got in a vehicle from Uyo, where I lived, and I headed to Port Harcourt. The event was for 11 a.m. So I needed to be in Port Harcourt way before 11. I think by 9:30 or so, I was in Port Harcourt. They were like, just hire a vehicle, come. I got there, event done. And then they said, oh, let's go into one office there so we can talk about your money. I got up there, and there were 2 men in the panel, and they said, how much? And I said, give me what you had budgeted for me. So one of them was about to speak, to say something. The other one stopped him and said, madam, it's 50,000 naira we have for you. My chest was in pain. I said, okay, if that's what you have, give it to me. The other one was going to speak. This one held him again. I said, madam, I mean it, I'm serious. It's only 50,000 we have for you. I said, then that's fine. I'll take it and I'll leave. There were tears behind my eyes. But I was saying, Lord, if this is what it takes to show you that I'm serious on this journey, then I'll do it. The guy opened the drawer, brought out 50,000 naira and dropped it in front of me. I picked it up, put it in my purse, said, thank you, got up, and I left. By the time I was at the gate, the tears had started pouring. In 2014, as at 2014, I was already doing jobs of, not on a regular, but at least I had done jobs of over 1 million. So to leave my house in Uyo, come and work in Port Harcourt, and somebody gives me 50,000, I said, God, this kind of test, I will chest it. As I was in pens. As I got to the vehicle, I hired a taxi to take me. Now, understand, the car that brought me from Uyo, okay, they paid that one when we arrived. And I think that guy charged like 18,000 naira or so. Now, they didn't give me extra money for my taxi back to Uyo. So I was going to enter AKTC to go back to Uyo. Because am I going to bring out 18,000 from this 50K? And I never spend more than 40% of income from a job on a job. I never spend more than 40% income from a job on that job. So if the job is paying me 100K, I cannot spend 40,000 on that job, whether it's flight tickets, what do you call it, hotel, this. I would make sure whatever I'm doing is under 40K. So I will travel by road, I will sleep in a friend's house, I won't buy new clothes, I will go and look for an old one, because it can never go beyond 40% from a job on that job. So I already looked at it. 40% of 50K is how much? All right, so let's go to the park. So as I was on my way to the park, I got a call from the guy. He said, please come back. Madam wants to see you. I turned around, went back, waited for a while to see the madam, got in there, and she said, come in, sit down here. What's this I'm hearing? They told me they gave you 50,000 naira and you collected it. Come, tell me about it. I've never heard this before. Sit down. So I wasn't sure if to tell her the truth or to make up a story, because I didn't want to sound too spiritual. But I told her that, well, I'm here to serve, and that government is about serving. You are in government, you're trying to serve. So if I would serve and you will say thank you with this, then it's fine. This is not where I'm making money from. She was blown away. She was like, for real? For real? Anyway, while you're talking, see the balance of money take. They brought out the other bundles. See the balance of your money take, because I couldn't let, they told me this was what happened. I needed to understand it. And she was blown away. And that woman opened many doors for me, many. And she would open a door. She would call me and say, I just gave them your name at this event. I have told them to pay you this amount because I know they can. So when they ask, just tell them, pay me what Madam said. So, few months later, I think this event was sometime in April, if I'm not mistaken. A few months later, maybe about August, I was invited to speak at University of Uyo by their students' union at some program. And I asked them if they had an honorarium for me. And they said, no, they didn't. And I was like, I don't know that I really want to be doing all this getting up, pay taxi, do yourself up, go to a place. And I'm not even sure. So these were students, so please listen to me. Students. And so I was like, I'm not sure. So I just laid down on my bed. So my son came in, David. And he said, Mom, you're not getting ready for this program or something. I said, no, they don't even have an honorarium for me. I don't want anybody to take my work for granted. I said something like that. He said, but I thought you said that when it's about building and developing and giving to government, that you would do it without asking for anything. University of Uyo is a federal university, it's a government school. My son. He said, so why do you now insist they must give you something? That's against what you said you and God had agreed. He was still talking when I called them and said, hey, what time is the program? See you there. My assistant then, I've been trying to remember her name, my PA at that time, she used to sew. So I called her and I said, I need a green dress now. And if you can give me something white on it too, let me dress in the Nigerian color to remember who I serve. I work for this country, Nigeria. I serve this nation. Everything and anything I do must bring fruit to this nation. Be fruitful and multiply. And he who put me here, put me to multiply and replenish on this earth. So where I'm going, let me know that even if it is University of Uyo, it is Nigeria I am serving. And that was how I started wearing green to government functions. And after a while, I said, why only government functions? Anybody I'm working for is linked to the rest of the nation. And so to work, I started wearing green and white. But of course, more green, even the flag has more green than white. So it was green, white, green. And after a while, I was like, why only when I'm working? Why won't you serve every day of your life? Let it be that anybody whose life you touch, is coming back to the land of Nigeria. That is the long story of how I have come to stay with my green, white, green. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
I
Very
needed to give
inspiring
us,
story, huh?
thank you. I needed to give us the blow by blow because we're all on a journey, and for some of us, you need to see yourself in somebody else's story to know that there's nothing wrong with you. Because sometimes you might think there's something wrong with you and some of the crazy decisions that you are taking, even though you believe it's God that's leading you. But at the same time, sometimes you ask yourself, is my own not too much? That's why I'm sharing this in detail. I'm here to answer. I'm here to pour. So I'm not going to try and abridge anything, except for time's sake. I want to give you everything so that you can see yourself where and draw strength. Over to you.